pro-life. You're pro-fetus.
I don't.
And when that fucking fetus is born,
No need to
then
swear.
all you want to do
No need to
is
swear.
no education, no health care, no help for the mother.
No
Don't
education.
get a vasectomy. Are you pro-war?
We're talking about abortion
No,
here.
but
We're not
no,
talking about like
no,
defending
you're
nations.
pro-
Hey guys, what's going on? James Klug here. Today we're in Huntington Beach and we're talking to people at a Planned Parenthood Rally. Let's go see what they have to say about abortion. Can we get a thumbs up for pro-life?
Yeah, your wife should be out here talking, not you, ass.
What? Why'd you call me an ass? That's not very nice of you.
No, but having a sign like that, I just figure it represents other things you probably represent.
No need to, personally attack, like,
it's a visceral
for a
thing.
personal attack.
It's a visceral thing.
It's a political discussion. You don't need to call me an ass.
Politically, it's a visceral thing. I mean, I don't really think you're really pro-life.
Yes, of course I am. I believe that is a human life living inside
Right.
of
You
a
believe
woman.
in,
I believe in science.
Child care, public education, not charter school education, feeding poor kids at school. Do you believe in any of that?
What does that have to do with whether it's a human life inside the womb or not?
Well, because once the life comes out, it's a good thing to take care of that life and make sure it gets nurtured, make sure it gets taken care of. And it seems like a lot of people that are pro-life only think about being pro-life while it's in the womb.
No, I believe in building a strong life for children all across the United States. So, okay, can we talk about abortion now?
School lunches?
Of course, I think we should be improving school all over the country.
Free lunches for kids.
Free lunches for kids, depending on
kids?
if kids qualify for it. Yeah, I think that's potentially a good conversation.
What about health care for all?
Healthcare for all. I mean,
Public health care, free health care.
Why do they?
I mean
Why do
publicly supported health care. It's never
so
free.
you need free everything in order not to kill a human being?
Yeah, basically, yeah. In this day and age, you do.
How are we doing? All pro-life?
Yeah.
Right on. Very cool, you guys.
Don't you think we have too many people in the world?
Are you saying that's a reason to like kill people? Is to like population control?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think that's no. I'm not a supporter of population control. I think that's pretty sick. How do you decide who lives and who dies?
Well,
I mean, do you want to be in control of the population control? How do people that are inferior to you, they just get cut?
If it's my body, I would like to have the choice.
Again, it's a unique human being. It's not your body.
There's too many human beings in the world, and don't you care about animals at all?
Having too many human beings is not a reason to kill another human being.
We're raping.
I can't kill you and say, oh, there's too many of us. Sorry, like no.
How many activities of Planned Parenthood are actually abortion? Maybe 3%.
They count every single thing as a service that they're providing.
That's
so
because
they break
do
it up.
that prenatal care. Yes.
No,
and advice.
You go in there.
Real
You go in
advice.
there for.
What about the phony? What about the phony?
You go in there.
anti-abortion
You go in there for an abortion. It's
What about
8 services that they
What about
provide.
the phony anti-abortion clinics that are prevalent?
Washington
all throughout
Post
the country?
literally said that it's extremely misleading.
What about all these pseudo places that advertise, if you're pregnant, come here, we'll give you some advice, and they give a lot of misinformation? This is one of the anti-abortions tactics.
I don't support anyone giving misinformation about
abortions
abortion.
cause cancer, which they've been proven not to. They say a lot of misinformation.
I don't
Scaring
approve of anyone giving misinformation about abortion.
Well, good for you. I agree with you there.
Do you think it's okay for us to be raping animals so we can steal their babies?
All right, this conversation, we're not
Oh, you don't want to talk about that.
raping
do you?
animals. No. What humans are raping animals?
Well, we take cow sperm.
We're having a different discussion here. We're talking about human beings here. We're talking about abortion, human beings, human life. You and I. We're here with some pro-lifers. These gentlemen are having a good time.
We love life.
We love life.
Hurting innocent babies.
All right, you're next.
Not pro-life. You're pro-fetus.
I don't-
And when that fucking fetus is born,
No need to
then
swear.
all you want to do
No need to
is
swear.
no education, no health care, no help for the mother.
No
Don't
education.
get a vasectomy. Are you also pro-war?
I mean, I'm not pro like unnecessary war. I'm
You ready to
pro
go to
protecting. Iraq? No.
No, you're not ready to go to Iraq or Iran? Well, my generation did. My generation died in Vietnam. 58,000 men and women.
And God bless those people, but that has nothing to do with an abortion argument.
It has to do with life.
Let's get back to this small number that you just said. Planned Parenthood performs a very small number of abortions per year, 1/3 of the country's total abortions. Is that a small number?
It may be. It may not be.
Wait,
Can you get pregnant?
Can I get pregnant?
Yeah.
No.
Then why do you care about a woman?
What do you mean?
Why
Because it's a unique genetic code living inside of you.
No, it isn't.
Scientifically,
Are you
it
gonna
is.
adopt it?
Why is it up to me to adopt
Why
a
is
children
it, if
to mean
you're
that it's going to be a human
refuse
life?
a woman's right to choose, then you need to be able to let that kid be born and help that kid live.
I believe that as a human
healthy.
life in there, and I believe in protecting that human life.
You're not protecting it once it.
I'm protecting it from
You're
being
not
killed.
protecting
Yes.
it once. Yeah, and then you let it go out into the streets, and rich women, by the way, have
Why? Wait, hold on. Why are they going into the streets?
You don't
I mean, like, what do
pay
you?
for their education. You want charter schools. You
I
want
don't
no
pay for what
healthcare.
education? High school education?
No, I'm
I
talking
didn't.
about everything. Public education. You don't want education. You don't want health care.
Wait, I don't want public education. I don't know where you're getting this information
This is
from.
all typical.
They say it's a choice, but like I could choose to kill someone. That's my choice, but that's wrong. Morally wrong.
Betsy DeVoe is anti-public education.
Well, our public education system sucks, but we can talk about that another time.
but
Let's
it
talk about
has-
abortion.
No, you have to look at once the baby is born. I'm not some kind of mad woman.
So you're saying maybe the baby might have a tough life in a bad neighborhood, and that's worth killing the human being over?
Yes, it's not a human being. It's a fetus.
Let's talk about human life inside a body. That's what we're referring to here.
Then
Human
just
lives
get
after
a
they're born.
vasectomy.
Okay, great. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about men paying for their babies.
I completely agree with you. Up high for that.
So let's make that a law.
What are you doing out here as a man? You should have a woman talking
Oh,
about
but what? Because of my gender, I can't have a say in a future generation. Are you serious? You think that's a good argument? I mean, that's a terrible argument.
Because your mind is made up.
You're a man. Why are you telling me what to
I'm
believe?
wasting
That
sperm.
body inside you has unique genetics,
So
hair
does
color,
yours.
eye color, weight,
So does
height,
your sperm.
and you're ending all of that by having an abortion.
Vasectomies are reversible.
Okay.
Why shouldn't at like 13?
I think once like male birth control becomes completely common and it's safe and it's
not
practiced.
here now.
It's not here now. No.
No,
So
it's
you gotta
not
do
here
it.
now.
You gotta do what you can to not have a
No,
child.
no.
A condom's like $3.
I was wondering how far your views go as far as like rape and incest. I just want to know like your line on.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think that's a very fair question, and thank you for being, respectful. My opinion on that actually is somewhat undecided a little bit, and I'll tell you why. And I think there's two arguments to be made here. Okay. There's a far pro-life argument, and hear me out. There's still a unique human being inside that body that has nothing to do with a heinous crime that a father committed. Okay. Now, for me, I believe that rapists should be castrated or killed. Absolutely, and I think you probably agree with me on that.
Killed, I don't know. I'm a virtuous,
Castrated.
so okay.
Okay, they should go to prison for the rest of their life. Whatever you want, the most aggressive punishment, in your opinion, that should be done,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
Now, the other case would be, listen, I'm all about protecting a woman's health. If we find ourselves to have a serious mess on our hands with suicidal thoughts, anything like that, obviously, women should be
Or when they're
protected.
sick.
Or when they're sick.
They'll die. From
So
pregnancy.
that's a really tough conversation. I think it's a fair conversation. It's a fair debate to have.
I'm a parent. I've got kids. I worry about supposing I had a child who was a daughter. I don't have two boys, but I still worry about them anyway because I'm a parent. And if you were a parent, maybe you'd understand.
Yeah, wow.
The
I
idea
can't
that
understand
you want
any
to
of this
protect
because
your
I'm not a
child-
parent. This is a terrible argument.
No, it isn't an argument. It isn't a
You're right,
terrible
it's not an
argument.
argument.
It isn't a terrible argument because if you were a parent, there were feelings.
This
that
is
you
an
might have.
argument from authority. I can't understand because I'm not, a parent.
Well,
I mean, that's
you're
it's
very
a
well-
terrible
You're very
argument.
slick and you're very well practiced. I'm not practiced, okay? But I know what I feel.
I can
and
tell.
I know what I believe.
And CDC reports that that's 0.5% of abortions that are performed annually is from rape and incest, okay?
Okay.
So I'd hate to just be focusing on that and use that as an excuse to be pro-choice and kill the other 99.5% of babies.
Okay. I understand your side. I just wanted to better understand your side. I don't really have a.
You guys, this is what a great conversation looks like right here.
As a parent, I would not want, if I had a daughter, if she was raped, to have her forced. If she was 14, 15 years old. In Alabama, she'd have to
You know
give
what?
birth.
How about this? Let's agree.
Are you familiar with-
Let's say no rape. Let's say they can have an abortion if it's rape. That's fine.
right.
Now, do you agree that abortion's wrong on the other 99.5% of cases?
If women.
So are you just bringing that up to excuse everything else?
No, because that shows the extreme nature
You're
of what
just bringing
they're
up the
proposing.
most emotional argument possible, and you're excusing
Well, that's
everything
part
else.
of it.
I think what everyone wants to know here. Everyone wants to know is this a
promote the
human life?
Alabama bill?
Is this a human life inside the body or not? That's what everyone wants to know.
And I'm saying we don't know. It has to make a determination.
There's very few abortions compared to what there was before Roe. Very few.
Roe has dedicated her entire life to being pro-life now,
I
correct?
know about that. That's fine
a little
and
awkward.
dandy for me. It is weird. Yeah. It is not a human being.
Okay, so when does it become a human being?
At 3 to
That's
4
the
months.
tricky part.
That's the tricky part.
Why 3 to 4 months? What happens at 3 4 months that you say that's a human being
That
and you
is
can't
what
kill it?
Roe has been. since 1973.
At what point does it become a human life?
I would
At
say
what
I would say at conception, once the
Fine.
pregnancy
Some
process
people-
actually starts.
Some people say if you masturbate, you're giving up a human life too.
That's not how human life is created. Because it's law, that means it's a human being, right?
I say it is up to 3 months that a woman should have the right to choose.
Yeah.
Period.
But why does it become a human life at 3 to 4 months?
Because it's fully formed.
It's not
It
fully
becomes-
formed.
no,
It
It becomes more fully formed.
becomes more fully
Yeah.
formed. 2 months and 3/4. It's not a human, but then 3 months it is.
It is a fetus. It is not a human.
What about the people that are anti-conception?
Anti-conception. I'm not anti-conception.
All right, but a lot of people that are anti-abortion. Oh,
I don't support that.
All right, great. Well, something else we agree on.
There you go.
I'm pro-life.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of women, it's about the choice itself and not necessarily whether or not people agree with it.
The choice itself, as in,
I
like,
don't
what do
know
you mean?
if that makes sense.
I mean, but that's not really that's not really a strong argument when it
You
comes to
have-
taking a human
it's
life.
really- ask
There's
you-
not.
You're just saying it's just the choice. That's it. Bottom line.
Do
It's
you
the
have
ability
any?
to have the
Do you have any restrictions on your body? By law, do you have any laws on your body?
Do you?
Yes.
What's that?
I can't. Well, I'm too old to get pregnant now, but I did. Certainly, I did not have choice when I was a young woman.
Again, it's in your body. It's not your body. If it was your body, you would be the one getting aborted.
I am from Georgia and I am adopted, and
And my
I am
husband is
still
adopted
Very cool.
too, by the way.
pro-choice. I'm just saying it's a unique stance.
And there's a lot of amazing people that have been adopted by amazing families, and that's
Yes,
awesome. I love hearing that.
People to get more people should adopt. There's just somewhere where we disagree.
Where is that we disagree?
I think that
Why is it not a human life inside? Actually, I want you to answer
is a
her.
human life
3 to 4 months. Do you agree with that? 3 to 4 months, it just becomes like now it's a human.
I think there's no line that can be drawn by humans themselves. I think it's
When the sperm meets the egg, and the pregnancy process starts, left to its natural process, it turns into you and I.
yes,
That's a reasonable. Hey, that's a human life.
It's reasonable and it is a human life.
All right, we're here talking about pro-life, pro-choice today with the squad. Woo!
I might disagree with you, and we might have different statistics, and we might watch different news sources, but I'd still like to
My
understand
passion
your
comes
side.
from having.
I'm-
You're really passionate about me having a vasectomy.
No, I am. I think